On a windy and rainy night in North London, Arsenal were faced with Chelsea, their London rivals, on a night when pen writers were ready to write those screaming headlines of Arsenal bottling it again. And fans in the opposition fan zone were waiting to mock Arsenal. And Arsenal chose to banish the hurdle of not qualifying from a semi-final position in a couple of years. And for the first time, they're playing in the finals of a cup final under Mikel Arteta's reign. It is my point of view. On this edition of My Point of View, I'm going to be looking at a couple of stuff that transpired in that match. First, Arsenal were playing too many risky passes between Kepa Arrizabalaga and the defenders. And Kepa was the chief culprit because he was always putting the defenders in a very tight situation. But somehow, Arsenal were able to get off it. And there was a particular moment in the game when the high pressing of Chelsea got Arsenal in a triangular position, but Arsenal were smart enough to be able to get out of it. So it showed that Arsenal were resilient, they were determined, they were brave, and they showed a lot of balls in this match. Arsenal were also calm because in a situation where they had scored 3 goals in the first leg, they would have looked at an opportunity of throwing goal on the front foot to get on their opponents. And their opponents were waiting for them to catch them on a counter. But Arsenal were smart. They were smart to soak the pressure and also play and try to play off the hook. But on this night, we also find out that Victor Gyökeres need to learn how to play according to the team. Not all the time the team have to play for you. You also need to win balls. You need to play off the hook. You need to also know how to handle your first control. His first control was what gave him away on the match day because he had some good opportunities that he was set up with, but his control was poor. You need to also play to get into the game. How can you play that number of minutes in a game and you didn't have more than 10 touches of the game? Of the ball, and yet Eberechieze had an opportunity of playing and grabbing that number 10 position when Captain Fantastic Martin Odegaard, who has not been playing well in recent time, also had sustained a little injury. You would have used that opportunity as a cameo. You forgot where you were coming from when you played against Spurs, the way you took them to the cleaners. Eberechieze, you need to do more because you are a super player. Also found out that captain of the night showed up a lot of balls. Captain, Trojan, and the lion of the team, Gabriel Magalhaes. He was everywhere trying to help his defenders, trying to marshal everybody and tell them to be in position. There's no way to have a better captain than Magalhaes. He's truly a dominant defender, and you can virtually acclaim him or refer to him as one of the best defenders in the world. It might be because he does some little lethargic mistakes here and there, but that doesn't mean you can take it away. Going forward, Arsenal need to learn how to be clinical in front of goal. The opportunity that fell the way of Martinelli would have been the decider of that game, but he fluffed his line. We must learn how to be clinical because that is what makes you a serious title contender and to win trophies. It might be the only opportunity that falls into your way, so you need to take it. Madueke showed a lot of balls. He took Cucurella to the cleaners. I hope Chelsea fans will be able to take some snapshots of those pictures and post them on the social media because when Estavao had a good time, which he didn't truly have an end product against Arsenal in the first leg with Timber, they were all over the media. But this time around, Madueke was on Cucurella, taking him to the cleaners, but his final balls are things that gave him away. He needs to keep putting those final deadly balls that will make an account for Arsenal rather than fluffing his line anytime he completes a dream ball. Anyway, the PGMOL, we cannot do anything without calling on you. There were 2 key moments in the game where we saw Chalobah flinging Victor Gyökeres to the floor. There was no call for a foul or a rough play. And in that same moment, within a couple of seconds, when they moved from that point, Gabriel Magalhaes came charging on the Chelsea player and with his arm around his waist, he blew and called it a foul. These are the things that we don't like to see in this game, in this beautiful game of football. Also found out that there was a penalty shout against against Chelsea, where we saw João Pedro handling the ball in the box during a set piece against them. And yet, there was no check by the VAR. Neither did the referee or the linesman call the attention of the referee. But at a point where there was a set piece against Arsenal and the ball hit the arm of an Arsenal player in a natural position. You had to check it. These are the things that we're talking about. We need parity in the game because this is what brings joy and excitement to players and the fans. And we also found out that Mikel Arteta has really learnt from his past errors. We saw the way he changed the game by bringing in Kenkai, and yet Chelsea people, they refer to Kincaid as £60 million down the drain. But £60 million man drowned Chelsea at the Emirates. And he was smart enough not to have passed that ball to Martinelli, who was running and screaming for the pass. They rounded off the goalkeeper in a characteristic manner and slid the ball into an empty net. Did I hear that John Terry is calling that goal scored by Kai Havertz an offside? How can a legend not think? I mean, legendary football that you played and everything, is it going bonkers? I don't know, because that was never an offside, and to not be offside this season, neither is it going to be in the time to come, because King Kai kept his line alongside with Chaloba before taking that ball forward and dribbled goalkeeper Sanchez. Arsenal truly proved that they've learned their lessons and they're beginning to have that strong mentality, because they did what they were supposed to do. I don't take it away from the fans. They were the 13th man. They played a fantastic role, even when Chelsea appeared to be pressing in that last minute. But Arsenal soaked up the pressure and got the killer pass. And don't take that goal away from four guys that created the goal. Piero Hincapié, who won the ball, to what's it called, Trossard, who got the ball and passed it on to what's his name, to Declan Rice, and Declan Rice just found King Kai. Keep making your comments, guys.